A warm, rant-free welcome back to Riverbend Springs on Farming Simulator 25. It's episode 42 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:22 here on Riverbend Springs, and we're in that weird, paradoxical situation where we've got quite a lovely looking sky and it's pouring down. I don't understand. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Thank you for allowing me to vent in yesterday's episode. Well, it wasn't just venting, was it? Like I said in the episode, it was... It's been a little while since the last episode. There was a lot to talk about, and that's what I was doing. So, yeah, thank you. Normal service is resumed. There will be, as there always is, the day-to-day stuff, the ticking over. If things happen in the Farming Simulator world, I generally talk about them. If things are happening in my world, I generally talk about them. And obviously, when there are more regular Let's Play episodes, it's more spread out. Yesterday was a rather concentrated, condensed version. Anyway, just been doing a little bit of preventative maintenance on the big old class because we've had a cultivating contract come up. There are still, I mean, the contract situation. Yeah, the rain's going to carry on till, well, it's showing cloud at 1 p.m. So, I mean, it could stop raining anywhere between 11 and 1. I mean, I would say probably more towards 1, but who knows? So I've got the cultivating one. We've got a wood transport. We always have one sat there. This popped up. That wasn't there earlier. But again, it's just the equipment's rubbish. I'd just rather have the harvesters, the root crop harvesters that can run on their own with the capacity. And though that DeWolf one doesn't. And it makes it very labour intensive. You can't just hire a worker to do the harvest because you have to run alongside it because it has to be unloading constantly. It's just frustrating. So I don't know about those. I mean, I suppose what I could do, much as then it's pointless. The contract, I suppose if I get any carrots out at the end of it would be the bonus. But if I leased a harvester, that's going to cost more than the contract pays out, and then it becomes, yeah, it's a moot point. So we've got a few other bits and bobs here. Anyway, all that being said, been chatting to Walter. I've got my waterproof on. Look, I didn't the other day, and I should have done. So we've got a couple of things have happened. Some things have changed in the wonderful world of Farming Simulator. Well, the first of these, not things that have changed, but things that have happened. We got our first of our jarred green beans. Look, cool, and the first of our bagged spinach, farm fresh. Baby spinach. Bagged. Get in. When I said the other day I was close to having some buffalo milk, no, I was reading the wrong one. Of course I was. I was up to nearly 1,000 litres of buffalo milk in there, but I'm doing buffalo milk bottled and buffalo mozzarella, and this dairy is slow. I mean, I haven't had a second... how long have we been running this? Nearly a year? Something like that? We started in August, yeah, we've done a year, and I've had one, I mean, we didn't do goats immediately, to be fair. I've had one goat milk bottled pallet out of this. We've got very little of buffalo mozzarella or buffalo milk bottled. Never mind. But anyway, the things that changed. The company that produces our tanker and our trailer came out to do a bit of work to help us out with some things. So we've changed the colour of our tank on this. It mostly does water, but here's the great thing. The reason this didn't do slurry and digestate before was something to do with baffles inside the tanks, seals and things like that. It will do fertilisers, it will do odds and ends, stuff like that, but it does now. And I think what they've done, they've worked something out. They've done something, but anyway, it does now. So this will do slurry and digestate, which means we can go over to the water buffaloes. I don't need to get a separate slurry tanker anymore. We can use this, which also means I can go to the animal dealer, the livestock market, and we can buy slurry from there, and we can bring it to our mini biogas plant. So that's the first thing. Second thing, if you consider the pallets, yeah. And then our trailer. We've had it recoloured, resprayed, because that was that Tardis blue that we were kind of used to. I went for a kind of metallic-y green with a yellow cover. I was going to go to all... I'm obsessive about that all metallic. I love that metallic look, generally speaking, but more a metalled metallic. So more of a silvery metallic. But I thought, no, let's go with the green. Why not? And I have to say, I love it. I still love it. I have been toying with looking at the harvesters because the Tardis company does harvesters now, and their base harvester is cheaper than our base harvester. They have a range of headers as well. I do like having two of these. They do a medium capacity, or say medium capacity. It starts off at 8,000. There's an 8,000 litre. They do an 80,000 litre and a 200,000 litre, which is a bit off the scale. They do harvester headers that run faster though. So faster headers. Not crazy like in like 95, 125 mile an hour style. Not Colossus harvester stuff. But it will go, rather than harvesting at 6 miles an hour, they do ones that go at 15. This is all. If you don't watch my mod reviews, if you watch mod reviews, you know that already. I suddenly thought I felt very low. I thought, I can't be crouching, can I? So I'm thinking about maybe do we do that? Don't know. Here's the other weird thing as well. You know, yesterday when I bought 8 things of pig food, and I put the pig food in here, I said I have to go and get some more pig food. Guess how much this holds? And I honestly, hand on heart, could not remember and did not know. 8,000 litres. If I go to my animals, look, my total capacity is full. It was 8,000 litres. So I thought, I'll go and get another bag. I went and bought another bag, brought it over, and it wouldn't take it. I brought it over here and I'm thinking, oh no, what's gone wrong? Why is it not working? Wouldn't take the extra bag. And that was what turned out. It was... Yeah. Anyway, and you might also notice that on the straw, it's showing that there's very little straw on the actual scale, but the capacity for the straw shows over 200,000 litres. I think it has linked my straw to my silo, which is right behind. So potentially, I won't need to put any more straw in there. So there was me saying about getting bales, and I had the straw I put into the trailer and was going to put it in loose. I think it's going to feed it directly from my silo if I need it to. I haven't got to worry there. So pigs are golden. We're all happy. Everything seems to be marvellous. I have taken my lorry over to the next wood transport place. Haven't taken the telehandler over yet because I'm going to be using the telehandler. Actually, should we go and get some slurry now? Let's go and do some slurry. I have got this on the large capacity actually. I switched it to large capacity because I was actually refilling my water distributor. Because I'd used a fair bit actually, because that's distributing out to my greenhouses and stuff. And that's constantly refilling them, so I had used a fair bit of that. So I thought, you know what, let's top it up. Actually, I didn't even check to see if we had any mushrooms. Nope, no mushrooms, we're fine. What else? Just trying to think of the day-to-day stuff. Yeah, so it's on large capacity at the moment, but that's all well and good. That'll hold 200,000 litres, but my biogas plant won't. So it's pointless me putting 200,000 litres in it. So what we're going to do is stop off at the water buffaloes. We'll collect whatever's at the water buffaloes, then we'll go down to the animal dealer. We'll go around to their slurry tank, and I'll put in, I think this holds, I want to say 75,000 litres of each. You know what, I suppose the easiest thing to do, if we just go in and check on our tablet. What's our tablet say? Slurry, yeah, 75,000 litres. So yeah, we're all good. We have got silage in at the moment. The silage I've been constantly topping up because our fermenter is producing silage all the time, so that keeps topping up. Straw, like I said, I'm not using any more straw because I use straw for bedding and total mix ration, so I'm not touching the straw that's in the silo anymore. Our manure, we're getting not very much from our water buffalo regularly, but again, I can go out with a trailer. We can whiz out to the animal dealer, go and buy 2 or 3 loads and bring it back. We could do that. And I'll every now and again top that up, keep that going. But I thought, well, as soon as this now takes slurry, then this will be our initial test of said facility. It's interesting, actually. I've been watching, I said this a while ago, unbeknownst to me, I mean, I really wasn't paying much attention, but various different series I have been watching, either solo or with MrSealyp. And it turned out, and I was like, I've been watching this, and it's brilliant, you would love it. And MrSealyp said, we should start watching this. And we've watched Tulsa Kings and Landman and all these different things. And most of them are Taylor Sheridan. Like I said this before, I was watching Yellowstone, then 1970, 1973, 1923, and the 18. What was that? Whatever the year was, I can't remember, wasn't it? 76 was it? No, 10,000 litres. That's not bad. So we're going to get 67,000 litres. Actually, we probably have got some manure out the other side. Yeah. So all these things that Taylor Sheridan, and every single one I've watched has been absolutely brilliant. I haven't watched a rubbish Taylor Sheridan series yet. It looks like a lot, but judging by what it's saying down there, but it is refilling, so it is working. That's absolutely brilliant. And like I say, we did go with the manure heap extension. I think Giants had said that it was all fixed now, but I've just left it as it is. I'm not fiddling around with all that now. It's in, it's working. They seem very happy. They don't mind a bit of rain. They love it. So yeah, so we've been watching what we're on to this time, Mayor of Kingstown, and we're on to series 3. Are we on to just finished series 2, or we were in the middle of series 2? Anyway, regardless, what I was going to say was it was the stop sign thing, because I don't always stop at them, you know, and it's that thing of, you know, yes, of course you're supposed to. I know in the US it's a big thing, but we were watching one of the episodes and one of the characters in there kind of slowed down, didn't quite stop, and went through the stop sign, and the police came out, wallop, pull them over. And it suddenly made me think, as I pulled up at that first stop sign, my brain automatically went, you better stop. you should stop. You shouldn't just do a kind of rolling kind of stop, you know. Isn't it weird? Off the back of a television programme, my brain was like, nah, you never know. You know, they might be sitting in, you know, side turning, waiting. The trouble is I'm going to do it every single junction now, aren't I? I mean, I should do really anyway. I know, Steve, I'm sorry. I know, you know, I'll do it, I promise. Steve's a good egg. Puts up with a lot. Right, so we don't want a huge amount. We just want to get up to about 75,000 litres. 75,000 litres. Shouldn't cost us too much. Slurry's not that expensive. Same as manure, it's not mega expensive to buy it. Obviously, if your animals are producing it, it's free, but if you do want some, if you decide you are just going to run sort of more organic in your fertilising, so your spreaders and stuff, slurry spreaders and whatnot, just pay attention on the bottom. 2, 3, that'll do. Don't want to hit the go over. I suppose I could probably store it in my silo, but so there we go. So this tanker does take it now, which is absolutely awesome. Omatana, you are a legend. It was lovely because I had such a long chat to her at Lama, and I was asking different questions about stuff, and I said to her about the Tardis pack, and I said about a couple of other things, and said, like, when you're making your mods, is there a process that, do you have a list of things you are aiming to achieve? Do you tick off all of them? I said, was there a reason why you didn't do this or didn't do that? And it was great because you get to get an understanding. And she said to me, in all honesty, and it was, you know, she said, I wanted to get the pack out as quickly as possible. She said, but when the pack was being submitted to come out, she said, I already knew that there were other things I wanted to add to it. There were, you know, because the previous Tardis pack had the harvester and the faster headers and stuff like that. So there was more stuff I wanted to add. And obviously the colour options for the tankers, the trailers, that kind of stuff. She said, I didn't have those ready yet, but I wanted to include them. So it was that thing of, I want to get the pack out, let's get it out, and then we can do an update, we can get the rest of the stuff done and get that amended when we need to. Which was cool, it was great to understand that, you know. Right, let's get that in. So, slurry, check. Now, the other thing we're going to do is something else that became available. And I've been talking to Walter, I said right at the start, I've been talking to Walter, and Walter has been very accommodating. You know, he's been a great chap, and I've been staying in the barn. There's, you know, it's nice and cosy. You know, he said I could stay in the big house, but I stay in the barn. I don't mind, it's cosy. I could stay in town, but it just makes sense being here on site in case of emergencies, that kind of thing. And I said to him, the fact I don't work for the FIB anymore, and the fact I'm sort of doing this now, I kind of really need a place of my own. Something I can sort of stake my claim to. So we got the old map out, and we've been chatting about a few different things, and we've been looking at properties, something I can make my own. Now, am I going to go down the whole route of making a full-fledged, full-blown farm? No, probably not, because we've got the farm here. I'm working for and with Walter here on his farm. That we kind of it's his farm, but our farm all at the same time. So yeah, we have a look on the map. We've been looking for sites. Now, I've been looking for sites initially for forestry. I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy a forest plot. Let's expand the farm. We've been doing a lot of forestry. We've been doing a lot of wood transport. We've been cutting down a lot of trees around the farm. But it will get to a point. I mean, we have still got plenty of trees around the farm. But do we want to decimate the farm? Do we want to get rid of every single tree around the farm? No. Are there some more trees around the properties and the fields we've got that we can cut down? Yes. Have we got a load of stuff here already for our sawmills? Yes. Our sawmills are incredibly productive and are making us good money, which is brilliant. So I thought, let's expand our forestry enterprise even further then. So we're doing the wood transport, we're doing the sawmill stuff, we're doing the playground equipment. Let's buy a plot of forestry. The problem here on Riverbend Springs is there isn't really... and I'll show you what I mean. If we go onto the map, and this is what we were doing, we were having a bit of a trawl around, and Ben came over for a chat, and we were talking about the area and what would be a good place to set up, what would be a great place for forestry. Initially, that's what we were kind of looking at. And realistically, the big forest area is this area here, which has a field on it as well, but it's not broken up into smaller chunks. And that's 634 grand, or 635 as near as, makes any difference. It's a lot, and not all of it is like, let me say, good forestry, just your lovely straight lodgepole pine trees, wallop, 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 and off you go. It's not like that. A lot of the forestry on this map is mixed forestry. Well, there's this plot here that we come and do some forestry contracts, wood transport contracts, and the plot, there's quite a bit of land. There's a lovely little meadow across the side here. There's an old barn in the middle there, which we could take the old barn down. We could have a little house built there. I thought about, do we do a constructible? But I think they require a lot of stuff. That being said, we are producing. We could do, couldn't we? Because we are producing our own roof tiles, cement blocks, cement bags. We're doing long planks, wood beams, and planks. But do we require furniture and stuff towards the end? And as I recall, when I did the constructibles video, it took so much stuff, and it cost a fortune. And by the end of it, you look and think, would have been cheaper just to get a company in to build you one. I've said this before. It's a little bit frustrating. So we looked at that plot and thought, yeah, it's viable. But there wasn't a lot of forestry. I mean, there was a few trees on there, but again, not a huge amount. Then we came the other side of the river because we haven't really been over this side of the river too much. And there's these plots here. Now that one's got a field in it, and it's quite a big plot, quite expensive. Some of these have got a fair bit of forestry around them, but again, they're fairly big plots. Then we kind of honed in on these two. This one's all right for 90 grand, but this whole side of it is quite a steep hillside that sweeps down to the road and down to the river. This one here is a bit more viable. For 104 grand, it's got some nice sweeping stuff. There's a lovely hill with, it looks like a big old oak tree on the top of it. Reminded me of Lone Oak. It was that thing. I kind of backed off, and there's a barn on there as well, which I think we could start off with. We could knock it down, maybe look at. But anyway, and there's a whole load of trees. Not great forestry, but it could work for what we need. So what we decided was, Walter said, you've made us a lot of money. You've made the farm a lot of money. You've bought a lot of equipment. We've expanded. We're doing well compared to where we were when we started. You know what? Yes, use some of the farm funds. Buy yourself a plot of land. So that's what we're doing. We're going to whiz out there and we're going to have a look. Now, I've got my chainsaw. We've got our telehandler. Because I suddenly remembered our pickup, we sold it, didn't we? We got rid of it. So I don't actually have I don't have a vehicle of my own now. What did we buy when we bought that? We bought the International CV, didn't we? We got that and then realised we weren't really using it. What did I get instead? Did we put that money towards the telehandler? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever it was, regardless, Walter has already said, look, any equipment and machinery you need, any stuff, if you want to borrow a tractor, want to come and grab something, you know you always can. It's not an issue, don't worry. So I have a plan. I'm going to head over there. I'll see you in a minute. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm going to have a look at the property. I might start cutting a couple of trees down, and I'll show you the thing we're going to do, which will link in very nicely to what's happening here at the main farm. So, I'll see you momentarily. So, coming up on our right should be a little turn in. Am I in the right place? Yep. Whoa. I was on the wrong side of the road. I was swung out to turn, but everything to our left is ours. It's our property. A place of my own. Here at Riverbend Springs. Should be a little turning. So here we go. Look. Oh no, that's a little bike track. I'm sure it's turning somewhere. Where is it? We have to better get up onto our property, don't we? There we go. Is this it? Yeah. Look at this. So this to me as well, when I was thinking about this and we were looking on the map and stuff, this is my dream. I mean, in reality, if somebody said to me, look, I've got this plot of land, it's got a load of trees on it, it's too hilly, it's too bumpy, we can't farm it, can't do anything with it, do you want it? I would just, look at it. There, look at the tree up on there. Little barn. I mean, yeah, the barn's dilapidated, needs a bit of work. We're probably going to knock it down. Can we access that? No, seriously, you must be able to go into it. I'll have to demolish it if we can't go into it. Those doors don't open at all. Just got this. Okay, that's going to have to come down, isn't it? We're not about to use it for anything, are we? That's a pity. God, if we could take that all down and use the lumber, that would be absolutely perfect. But look at it. It's gorgeous. So yeah, we've got this plot of land, all these trees, all this stuff. Now, this would just be a homestead, farmstead type thing. I'd probably have a little house on here, maybe a little allotment, maybe keep some chickens. Not go mad. This would be a home base plate, home point sort of thing. I wouldn't be able to landscape it for fields and stuff like that. But that being said, we've got a few trees we can take out, that we are going to take out. We are going to clear a lot of it. So have it kind of more open. Am I going to clear all of it? No, because it is like, you know, in reality, when people buy woodland or own woodland or forestry, there's woodland and forestry management. There are trees that need to be cut back, need to be pruned. There's coppicing that often needs to be done. There are trees that are dead that need to be cut down, generally speaking. There's obviously a lot of the... what trees got the disease at the moment? A lot of they're having to be cut down en masse because they can't do anything with them. Not aspen. Oh, I don't know, it'll come to me. But yeah, this bit just... I mean, look at this. How cool would it be? Can you imagine in the evenings, you've got a little farmhouse down here. You come up, have a little bench up here. Little bench, little swing seat, whatever it might be. You can just sit up here with a coffee, come up and have a picnic, little barbecue, and just sit and watch the sunset. Looking out across the landscape. I'm craving the Lake District now. Got that feeling. This tree is not going anywhere. I'm not cutting this down because this is that kind of... And we've got this lovely kind of... It's a sweeping open meadow. Can't really do a lot with it. I wonder actually if we could put... I suppose you could. Just saying, where would I be able to put the actual... We'd have to find a little flat spot somewhere that potentially put a small sheep pen in, but one where we could adjust the fencing. But I don't want to get that whole... area restricted, whatever. It's my ground, I can do what I want with it. But anyway, yeah, so we've got a load of trees to take out. So what I'm going to do first, I guess, we've got to take this down because that's in the way. I thought we'd be able to open the side doors and we could use it for storage and stuff at the moment, but probably not. So what I'm looking at doing, anyway, this is all a long-winded roundabout way of getting to... No, not there. Where am I looking for? Here. Under our factories, what is available is the... Where are they? No. No. Oh, here. These. The industrial sawmill that came up the other day. Now, I could run it as a sawmill. We've got 2 sawmills over at the farm. For 10 grand, we're going to put one of these in. And what this is going to enable us to do is wood distribution. So we can run it as a, whether we've got lorries coming backwards and forwards, however you want to view it, whatever you want to do about it. If you've got a big old logging area, and again, it depends what map you're playing on. It depends what you're running, how you're running it. And if you want to be part of the immersion of what you're doing, you're running log trailers, especially on multiplayer. You've got a proper forestry operation going. The problem is on this map, there's not a lot of what I consider to be great forestry. It's all higgledy-piggledy stuff. It's stuff you can lop down. There's a few decent trees you can cut down and put onto a log trailer, but most of it is really awkward stuff. But this, and I'm going to test it on here because has the option, you put wood in, and one of the outgoing products is wood. And if you set that to distributing, that should distribute any wood you put into it to anywhere on your map that you own that requires wood, which both of our sawmills do. Which means I can clear all my forestry here, clear all the trees I want to clear, but have it set to distributing so we can keep our sawmills at the main farm ticking over fairly indefinitely. I think it holds 250,000 litres, I think it does. I guess we could put one of these in straight away. I'm just thinking of the farmhouse situation as well. What am I going to do about that? Do I just go straight in and say, you know what, let's just buy a farmhouse? Mind you, the farmhouse is there. No, we're not going to be doing that. I guess the other option, I mean, we've got a bench. Just put a bench up on the hillside. And we could just look at, there's the little shack, the tiny farmhouse, the little sort of, yeah, we could go with that, a tiny house. Or we could go for a decorative building. I mean, not a shed, obviously, but we could find something. I mean, I want something that's going to look nice. That's not too bad. Small wooden, it's a garden shed. I don't need a little cabin. I don't need anything over the top. I mean, all of these, they're great, but I mean, to be fair, I think they require quite a few resources. But those ones are just saying planks, long planks, wood beams, and cement. I've got all of that stuff, but then it's not a farmhouse. These are all barns, aren't they? Sheds and things like that. If you're going to be running that kind of stuff, then you're up here onto the constructables. It's a grand to place, but yeah, you need furniture, you need prefab wall sections. There's all sorts of stuff that I'm not producing, and I'd have to go and buy, and then it just gets really, really expensive. So I don't know what to do for the best now. I think I might go down the route of just getting myself a building and then putting a sleep trigger, because that's all I need. Just have the little farmhouse as a, you know, these are lovely and all. I mean, that's a lovely looking building. That's nothing wrong with that. That I've got to consider. So this has got to come down. You know what, I think I might do anyway. I might put the bench up on the hill. Areas restricted. Forget it. Flattening failed. What? I haven't had that come up before. You are kidding me. Right, so we'll do it there. So around the tree it won't allow me to. Oh, let's pick a spot there. That might work. How much is it going to flatten it though? That's the problem. And it costs 50, it's saying 51. Oh, you know what? It don't get any better than that. It don't get any better than that. Oh, look at this. A little bench. We can sit here. Why has that made me so happy today? I don't know. Anyway, let's clear this. Let's get one of those things in. I just want the rain to stop. I don't want it to skip ahead to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe. What we can start doing, of course, is lopping some of these down. We'll get down some of the ones that we know are going to be easy to deal with, handle. But the great thing with this as well, being that it's going to be a wood distribution, I don't have to load these onto log trailers. I just need to be able to have them into chunks that I can pick up with my telehandler and then just put them in. Oh, that was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Longer, taller. I mean, we can take that tree out as well, I suppose. I mean, yeah, we'll take that down as well. I'll probably go maybe every other tree. We'll have a look. Anyway, I just want to get some... We'll get some trees in. Let's get this down as well. Let's take this down sideways that way. There we go. We're going to need to get a stump grinder out as well. And then we'll get that out. And then, yeah, but let's just see. We'll put some stuff in. We'll set it to distributing. There we go. Made life a little bit easier, isn't it? Let's lock that here. Now again, I'm not going to put you through the, you know, I've done a lot of forestry stuff, I've done a lot of logging stuff, we've done a lot where we're cutting up trees, and I know not everyone likes that, not everyone likes forestry, and that's fine, I totally get that. We're a bit intertwined here, aren't we? Let's cut that. Let's say, like I say, just into chunks enough that with my telehandler we can pick them up, and we'll put them into that new point and see how that runs. Give me a little while to get some of these down, and we'll do what we need to. See, to me, I'm as happy as a doodad, you know. Happy as a clam. Is that not something we really say. I say we don't really say. That's a sweeping statement. Nobody in the UK says that. They probably do. I just don't. Happy as a clam. It is a thing, isn't it? Yeah. Just nod. If you nod and agree, it tends to go away after a little while. So. It is still tipping it down. 10:24. We've got a few trees down around us, and we've got the little sawmill in. So what we're going to do, I can't remember if it's this end, isn't it? Sell wood bit, and then we've got our manage. There we go. There's our manage. So if we come into here, and we could still run it as a sawmill if we wanted to. Then we could have 3 sawmills going if we want to. Or I suppose what we could do, because this stores as well up to 250,000 litres, whereas the other 2 sawmills don't. They stick more to the standard in-game. I mean, we can go and have a look. These will do 14,000 litres, which means you're having to constantly top them up. So what I could do is going to be a bit of a pain. If this works, is we could, all the logs and stuff, and I've been chopping them up actually into smaller pieces, so it keeps it topped up more regularly, is load those all up onto a trailer. That will take me a while. Bring it all over here. Put it into this, because this will store, because it's industrial. And then, like I say here, wood delivery. If I set that change output to distributing, and you'll see on the right hand column, you've got incoming materials wood, outgoing, your planks long, wood beam. You get wood chip out of this as well. And I love the recipes on here. When you go, for example, to there, your 100 coming in is split 94 wood to 6 wood chip. Because when you are cutting stuff up, you do get your sawdust, your wood chip. It makes perfect sense. It really works well, I think. So what we'll do, we'll start loading this all up, and then it depends what I can pick up by hand and what I'm going to have to use that I can. There's an automatic one of these as well. So this one here, this is your wood point here. And if I come to about, here is it? There you go. That puts our wood in. So there's an automatic version of this as well, which doesn't have the sell wood bit, which is here. If I put my icons on, you'd see them now. You have your managed production there, your hazard marked area there, pallets will come out the back of here, and your wood chip bit is here, and your wood chips will gradually fill up if you're running it as a producing stuff. Yeah, but the automatic one doesn't have a cell bit. It has this area here, and it's literally as you bring logs, the logs will just automatically go into it. You don't have to press a button to sell wood. So if you find that's a frustrating thing, if you just want to bring logs over and it just take them, there is a version. It costs an extra $50 or pounds or euros or whatever it is you happen to be utilising at the time. So yeah, I think these are all going to be a little bit too big. I could spend ages chopping all these up into smaller bits that I can pick up by hand, but I've got my telehandler. Got any bits I can pick up by hand? And I think they're all in fairly large chunks. We've got one here. So I've got no. We've got, like I say, we have got some tools straight standing, and I don't mind chopping up these other ones. I mean, at the end of the day, these sorts of things, like the one over there, the main trunk of it is massive, and we've got a lot of property. I mean, we've got a lot of land. Yeah, there's a lot of these wispy things which are a bit of a pain. I might have to leave something, but yeah, these big boys, we've had a few of these across the map. You take a few of these out here and there. Yeah, we've got a couple of there. I mean, I'm not going to on this one. I'm not going to take all these wispy ones out. They provide a bit of protection, a bit of a barrier from the outside world, but also from wind and stuff like that. They'll give us a bit of a barrier. We can take a few of these out. See these as well. I love the character of these looking trees. They're ones that I think the bottom of that, there's probably a lot of timber in that, or a lot of wood chip, whatever. But I don't want to cut it down. I like it, Getting sentimental in my old age. I just want to sit on benches and look at landscapes. I mean, it's like, so you should look at landscapes. It's like you can look across the valley at the big old, the big old grain bins and the facilities off in the distance. But that wouldn't bother me. It's still the whole kind of, I don't know. Right, let's get some more in here. And then, like I say, on the hour, it should top up my other stuff. Let's see, actually. I'm curious to see. Because I've just kind of been throwing these things in generally. I haven't really been sort of paying much attention. These bigger trees. Because obviously I did my video on, what's great for wood. And these aren't... And that was more, when I said on that video, harvestable trees. These are all harvestable, but these ones are really finicky. It's a lot of work and messing around, and I don't have to even delimb them. To put them into here, I forgot where this rocky bit here. Mind you, that adds a bit of bounce, doesn't it? What's that going to take us up to? I'm just curious. Yeah, not a huge amount, but it will all add up. And I say I don't have to have piles of logs out everywhere then either. Yes, I don't have to delimb everything. If I just grab it with this, because I've got the tension straps on here, and we can tension strap around things, although the tension straps aren't visible, so I can tension strap all of that. I haven't got to worry about picking it all up by hand and all that. And like I say, the automatic one at this point would have taken this all off me. So what we'll do, drop that down there, do that. I'll spend a bit of time getting all this in here. And then I think that what I will do is I'll probably go over to the, like I say, it adds up. We'll go to the main farm, load all that stuff up. It'll be, so what I'm looking for is on the hour, when this does distribute, it should top both of those up back up to 14,000 litres. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. If it does that, then we're golden. I don't want to spend ages loading up a trailer, bringing it all over here and putting it in here. I'm doing this one thing at a time. I shouldn't be. What I'll do, I'm going to pile a whole load up now, bring it all over into a big old pile, then I'll put it all in. Yeah, I don't want to bring it all over and then find for some reason on the hour when it distributes, it doesn't distribute there, or it doesn't put enough there, or whatever. I'm just worried there might be something that goes wrong, and there's no reason why it would, but you know what I mean. You never know. Oh, tension strap didn't work. Why is my tension strap not working? There we go. It's just a case of utilising the things that are becoming available, and I like that. I think that's very cool. There's a lot of very cool stuff that quality of life hacks and things, There's nothing wrong with having stuff distributed. a lot of the factories and productions and stuff do it, and that is to simulate that thing. You know, I've got my little sawmill here, and if I wanted to simulate the fact that I had another company coming to distribute my logs that I'm putting in here to another sawmill, that's what that's doing. But again, if you don't agree with that, if you don't like that, that's fine. You know, you can spend the time. It's that thing of I've done my time. I've put in a lot of time and effort. I've done a lot of log transport. I've done a lot of wood transport. I've loaded a lot of log trailers. I'm not sort of jumping on straight away that kind of, oh, I can't be bothered with all this. I've put my time in. I've done a lot. Why should I not make my life a little bit easier every now and again? Yeah, it's building up. Right. I will get the rest of this in. I might cut some more down. I'll do a little bit more, and then I'll see you upon the hour. Well, let's have a look actually while we're here, and let's have a look at our sawmills. So that's saying 12,953. That one for wood. Well, I topped the wood chip up. We've got some wood chip in storage, so I topped the wood chip up just to make sure. And that one is showing at 13,523. Because I've got piles of logs in front of it already. As the logs start to be used, they will kind of automatically replenish. Sometimes every now and again you have to go over and give them a bit of a nudge, lift a log up or chop a log up if it's too big. But you can let it run right the way down to 0, and with the logs that are in there, it will then take everything that's there. You don't have to be micromanaging them if you don't want to. But like I say, what I'm hoping is on the hour, this one then will distribute out from here to both of those. They'll both hit 14,000 litres, and the plan will be working. If that keeps topping up there, what we could do then is we could switch on some of these, maybe do planks, wood planks. I mean, to fair, planks we don't need so much of. Long planks and wood beams, and the wood beams especially, they do make pretty good money. So potentially we could run some wood beams out of here. And if I was going to build my own house and that kind of thing, maybe I could look at doing that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm probably just going to buy. That's my overriding feeling at the moment. I'm probably going to buy a little property. There are tons of decorative ones available. There's all sorts of decorative packs. You know, I might just, like I say, it just needs to be a little log cabin. I don't want a big old fancy house. That's not me. A log cabin in the woods, and I would be absolutely the happiest person alive. I would love to downsize. I would love to do the tiny house thing. I would love to, you know, I just think it'd be brilliant. I'm putting it in the wrong place. Anyway. He's talking again. He's doing that thing where he just talks a lot. It's not quite on the hour yet, but I was just thinking a question that might be asked, or a statement that may be made, is you can put whole trees in, you know. You don't need to cut them up. You're quite right. You could. You can. I'm trying to. Although a couple of my cut down were big, and yeah, I think I've cleared. That tree actually was a lot more. Yeah. Mind you, it gives us a nice view out this way as well. I don't know. But anyway, the other thing as well that might be suggested is why don't you use winches or a cable yarder or something? You absolutely could. Especially on this property, sticking a cable yarder up in the middle and going out to some of the taller trees out in the periphery, and then using a cable yarder to bring trees back to here, absolutely would work perfectly. Using one of the Tajfun winches on the back of a tractor, cutting down the trees and winching them, rather than using the forks and the ratchet straps. I know you can't see the tension straps in this, but it does have them. To drag whole trees in rather than cutting trees up. I cut all the trees up around me initially because it was easier for moving them around. And then again, it's that thing of, I'm thinking, well, do I need to? Probably not. We've got a fair bit in here as well. We're up at 47,000 litres at the moment, so this should take us a little bit higher. Oh, it took us a little bit higher. There we go. 64, does that say? Nice. Yeah, I've done a couple here. I mean, we've got a whole load more as we go down towards the edge of the property that way. And we've got an absolute ton of them off around this way, and then we've got some out around the edge there. So have I got more to cut down? Yeah, absolutely. What's interesting is I'm not running this yet. I'm not doing any production. It is just on distribution of the wood out to the other ones. But my wood chip box is filled up. The more trees I put in, the more wood it's holding the fuller the wood chip box became, which is interesting. I thought that would only fill up if you were producing wood chip. Anyway, it has. So, I mean, regardless. Although, if you come into here, I don't have any wood chip. If you look at the right-hand outgoing products, there's no wood chip in it. It's just showing it. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, no, that's 66. Wow. Okay, we got a fair bit in here. I'm happy with that. That's good. That means a good start. So I'm going to head back over to the farm. Going to have a cup of tea with water. We'll wait till 11, see what happens, and if it works, golden. And then moving forwards, yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I think a little house, maybe a little chicken pen might be quite nice. Just have some fresh eggs and that kind of stuff. I can always go and get eggs from Walter's farm, but just make it my own, you know? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to head back over now. I'm going to take this over, because if it does work, I'm then going to spend some time loading all the logs and stuff at the main farm onto a trailer to bring over here. I know it seems a bit, you know, the argument could be made then as well. Why don't you put a second one in over at the main farm if it's only 10 grand, and just put all the logs in there? I could, but the thing about that is that I've got two places that are distributing. Am I then going to, after that, put any more trees in over at the main farm? No. So that 10 grand, not that, I mean, it's wasted at the end of the day, but I suppose it's that weird thing as well, isn't it? If this industrial sawmill would cost 20 grand, I wouldn't bat an eyelid, because I would still think for 20 grand it's well worth it, because that's still going to run as a sawmill and a distribution centre, so why wouldn't I? But anyway, yeah, I think I'll just bring the logs over. It's only my time I'm wasting. I'm not wasting yours, don't worry about it. So, yeah, see you there in a bit. It's 11:03, 11:04. Just had a quick couple with Walter. And yeah, it's an interesting one. That it did distribute, which is what it's supposed to do. I need to take those over, actually. Let's do one now. I'll go through the figures with you in just a moment. Let's take this over. Jarred green beans. Nice. I assume I can sell them here. There we go. Oh, that paid out rather nicely. I'll have some more of that. Thank you very much. I'll do that one in a minute. Several. Yeah, so we had in the industrial sawmill, if we go to here, we had 66,411. We've now got 65,775. So some did distribute. What I was worried, and there's always that thing of, have I got something on the map somewhere that I've forgotten about that requires wood, and will it just suddenly, will it disappear? Will it go off? I don't own the sawmill, but will it go to the sawmill, or will it just, you know, no, it hasn't. So it is working. If I come down to our sawmill, that one was sitting on 12,832. It's now saying 13,235. So it did distribute some there, and that one was on 13,402 and it's saying 13,601. So it has distributed some into there. It hasn't filled them up to full 14,000 litres, but it has distributed, which is what I needed it to do, wanted it to do. So I reckon we're in a good place. I've hooked up the larger trailer. Now, again, people will say, well, why don't you just use your log trailer and your lorry? I could do, but the problem is, as I was saying, because to keep this topping up regularly, I chopped a lot of this, not all of it, some of it is still in big old pieces, but I chopped a lot of it up into small chunks that are liftable. So what I can do, as it starts to work its way through, chug its way through, I'll gradually move smaller stuff into the front, and it will gradually kind of eat its way through the piles. These smaller bits are not going to load up particularly well onto my log trailer, because it's mostly empty space. It's designed for long logs. So what I'm going to do is load all the small bits onto that trailer at one end, and all the bigger bits I'll use the telehandler. Like these are too big to lift. I'm not going to cut them up to move them. We'll use the telehandler, but that bit, for example, can be, so we can start loading it up. So I think it's worked how I wanted it to. We've got a new plot of land. We've got some new forestry. We've got a fair bit in there as well, actually, as far as wood to be distributed. And then once we've added all this in as well, what I am going to do, I think, is I'll load the trailer up, and I'll probably go in for another cup of tea. I'm going to do this off camera. I'll go in for another cup of tea. What was I going to say as well? Yeah, I mustn't forget about my contracts, must I? Anything else popped up on there that's more feasible? That one I might pick up. No, not really. I must forget to do my cultivating contract. Wood transport's normal, that's the standard, but it's these sorts of ones I mustn't forget, because we've got our big old Xerion, we've got our new cultivator, shouldn't take too long. We'll whiz out and we'll do that. So yeah, it's all worked out exactly how I hoped it would. And like I say, we've got ourselves, I thought I'd chop that to be liftable, maybe not. So all I'll do is, at one end, I'll just load all these bits up and pile them all up. We'll get them all over, but I'll wait an hour, make sure it distributes again and does it properly. Again, I don't want to take all of this over and then find, not there's going to be a glitch, there shouldn't be a glitch, but if there's any kind of issue, there shouldn't be, but you know, it doesn't hurt to be cautious and to just say to yourself, well, you know, what if something goes wrong? I probably should have been better off going around the shorter end. Don't worry, went all the way around there. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to be cautious and just to take a breath, take a moment, double check everything's working, make sure the maths works out, or the math, depending on where you are from, and we're all good. And that is where we are going to end this episode. Like I said, I've done what I set out to do. Bit more logging, bit more forestry, wood distribution. I'm happy. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do, as always, thanks for watching.